I could not do this until I started doing a lot of yin yoga, and I'll be drawing on yin yoga postures a lot. I'm a certified yin teacher as well as Bikram in our videos, and this posture we did, the forward bend, is a version of a yin yoga posture. From doing a lot of yin, so this is what kind of happened. First I was here, and then 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 one day something really wild happened. So I was here, and then that happened. Total rotation of the hips, so really released a lot of stuff, able to go all the way entirely through. You get it. Kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. Because this can be very, very intense. We hold a lot of stuff in the hips. For whatever reason, in yoga, it's quite common to hear somebody say or to read in a book about how we store a lot of emotion in the hip. The issues or your issues are in your tissues, so to speak. This is very much the truth when it comes to yoga. Emotions can get kind of stuck in your physical body, so releasing a lot in the hips, through the hips. First hip exercise we're going to do, pigeon. Starting on all fours, hands and knees. We're going to move first into downward dog, so pushing through the palms, lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling, flat back, not arcing the spine, not collapsing through the chest. From here, lifting your right leg from the floor, bring your right knee towards your right wrist. So this is the same posture that we did in the BodyRock Flow Fit Test. So as you do this one, you'll be able to hopefully see a difference. Some things opening up, some things releasing. So this hip, your right hip, you want to try to have it on the floor. The left leg, the left hip is coming forward. So instead of your hip turning out, your hips are square this way. So right hip down, top of the left thigh also down. If that's not working out for you, so if you bring your knee forward and you're here, you can put a pillow or a blanket, a bolster, often used in yoga. You can put something, it doesn't matter what, something soft here so that there's no space between the floor and your butt. So there would be something here so that you can release the muscles. Sit on this side here, you're just simply with your mind going to be setting that intention, sending your breath to the area that feels tight, bringing your left hip forward, bringing the top of the left thigh to the floor. From here, once your hip is down, even if you have the cushion there, you may be just staying here for 5 breaths or longer and breathing. If you feel pretty comfortable here, you can start to move forward. Eventually you can come down into a position like this, forehead to the floor, and breathe there. Especially with this one, the longer you stay, the better. Try not to engage, try not to flex. We're not strengthening at all in this posture. We're trying to release the tension from the glutes, from the hips. So stay as long as you can. Stay as long as you have the patience to right now. Honestly, the longer the better with this one. Just staying here or staying here. Breathe and just focus on releasing that area. The next one we're going to do is a wide-legged forward fold. You're really going to feel this one in the groin, especially if that's where you're holding tension. So starting with yourself fairly straight through the spine, what I want you to see is this. There's a tendency when there's tension in these areas, in the front of the hip, in the groin, for the back to round this way. Instead, with your hands on the floor, all you want to start to do is just bring yourself forward. So instead of falling back this way, the rotation is forward. Okay? So you may even be here, you may be here, so you're trying to bring your hip forward. Eventually, the next step, elbows to the floor. From there, maybe even all the way down. What you want to notice here is that there might be a tendency, especially if you feel tight, to contract the muscles. Again, try to relax. So you're relaxing your legs entirely, soft. And then from here, just coming forward, keeping the muscles soft. You can do anything with your arms that feels comfortable for you. Again, just try not to tense up here. Try to just be soft as you can. Breathe. Again, longer the better. Whenever it comes to the hips and these kind of postures, where we're working to just increase the flexibility, to release tension from the body. The longer the better, and you want to be soft as you're into them, as you're moving into them. That is really important. Not holding so much here, not striving so much, not trying so hard. Instead, more about allowing, more about surrendering. Third posture we're going to do.
Dragon lunge.
Dragon lunge. So we're going to start in a high lunge for this one. You may have to stay like this, and you may need to put your hands on something. So you may need to put a couple blocks here, maybe 2 small side tables, anything that you can rest your hands on. If it feels intense through this hip, just stay here like this. You may be able to come a little bit lower, so you're sinking into the hips, opening the whole front side here. So if you're a runner, if you've been doing a lot of high impact stuff, hip flexors, maybe a little bit tight. So really getting into that area. Of all the postures, this one, for me, for whatever reason, it just feels really intense. It makes me a little bit antsy. It's always been a hard one for me to hold. Do what you can. It may not be like that for you. Try to stay as long as you can. So your knee is over your ankle. You're just sinking down this way. And this actually is preparation for a split too. So that's kind of, it'll help you move in that direction as well. So you can keep your chest lifted, hands on the floor, and then eventually even maybe coming down, elbows to the floor. For me, my biggest challenge is and continues to be being a little bit more gentle with myself, allowing myself to take a day off, exercise, like not exercise at all for a whole day. There was a time when that was really hard for me. I've always had this pattern of overdoing, a little bit of a perfectionist, you might say. And I remember one day I finished yoga class and I was laying on the floor, and in Bikram we have mirrors, and I remember lying on the floor, and I was exhausted before I even went to the class. I don't even know why I went. I remember lying on the floor after the class, and I looked into the mirror, and I remember like looking right in my eyes and really feeling compassion for like the first time ever for myself. And I kind of in that moment apologized to myself for not listening to what I really needed that day. So for me, I'm always working to build that inner awareness, or to really listen to what my inner self needs, or as opposed to just doing. We're such a culture of doing, and I have to do this and I have to do that, as opposed to just simply being.